Hey everybody. If any of you watched the games that Russ and I were looking forward to, my first pick was a game called No Man's Sky, which came out a week ago, 2 weeks ago. It came out fairly recently, and it's since been a pretty divisive topic amongst gamers. So I thought I'd go ahead and throw in my 2 cents. After all, I did say I was looking forward to it, and I was. My anticipation was at a fever pitch. I'm going to have a little product placement here for a second. So much so that when Amazon Prime again messed up and was unable to get it to me the day they promised, as they are with most pre ordered games, I was very upset. A friend of mine, we'll call her Bob. Yeah. Bob also was in the same boat as me, so she and I both complained to Amazon. And Amazon felt really bad about it being delayed by a day with no warning, even though we ordered it months in advance. So Amazon gave me a $5 coupon off my next order and gave her the game for free. But I'm not here to talk about Amazon. I'm here to talk about No Man's Sky. This game, first and foremost, is a technological wonder. 10 people working on this product created a micro virtual version of the universe. More planets than any of us could ever, working together, possibly explore. 18 quintillion planets. They follow widely held beliefs, scientific principles on the formation of planets. I think it's called the 90-10 rule, which essentially, and I'm sure some physicist somewhere is going to correct me, the 90-10 rule is 10%, roughly 10% of the planets in the universe are probably life-bearing, are probably hospitable to life, and roughly 10% of those have complex life, such as, us. This is based on our limited understanding of the universe from what we've seen in our own solar system and what little research we've been able to do on extrasolar planets. So, it is a gargantuan. There's not a word to describe to you how big this game is. There's not. I can try. So, I'm in like my 12th or 13th solar system. Bob, who's been playing as long as me, from the same time frame, is still in her first solar system. And we have both gotten a lot out of the experience. I haven't tested it, but I think the planets are roughly planet-shaped. They're huge, and walking around them, I think you could easily spend 40, 50 hours just on your first planet discovering things. Easy. It's a technological marvel, and you have to continually remind yourself of that fact as you keep playing. The problem for me with No Man's Sky is that without real objectives, there's a couple of objectives, but they're vague. The most common one is get to the center of the galaxy. It shows you a path. You can warp there. You're going to have to refuel a lot, but I feel like if I was willing to put in the time and energy, I could get to the center of the galaxy pretty quick at this point. There's another one that's follow the path of the Atlas, and that's the one I'm doing, even though I'm still not 100% sure what it means. Yeah, I'm certainly seeing some weird and interesting things, which is, part of the fun in and of itself. Bob and I have talked about it, and the issue is, I know if I sit down right now to play No Man's Sky, which I'm not doing, I'm doing this video instead, but if I was to go over and sit down and play No Man's Sky right now, I know I'd be in there for hours. Easily. I would blink and hours would have gone by. I don't feel any pressing need to go play it, though. Usually when I'm playing games, for example, I'm playing the Uncharted series, I'm on the last game. I felt a need to finish the story. I'm so close. I'm almost there. Yeah, I'll play for a couple hours tonight. Ooh, I can only do 1 hour, but I'll do that hour so that I can. There's no need to play No Man's Sky. So, those who say it's boring, I don't blame them. I don't. It is the sandboxiest of sandboxes. Here is the universe. Here is your spaceship. Go. That's the game. I hesitate to even necessarily qualify it as a game. Now, there are some survival elements. Most planets that you encounter are not hospitable to life. They're too hot, they're too cold, they're too toxic, they're too radioactive. And these wear down your shields, and you require elements to keep your shields up. So while you're exploring the planet, you're having to hope you run into enough of a particular element to keep your shield powered. Alternatively, you can dig a hole in the ground, and if you dig it deep enough, your stats will... It's basically you're in an underground cave at that point, and your stats will start to level out. There are things you can do. You can find yourself getting jumped by pirates while mining asteroids. You yourself can commit acts of piracy. I did it once by accident. I didn't fully understand what I was doing. But most of the game is exploring these planets and these moons. And you are seeing unique life forms that nobody else might ever see. Ever. And it's just hard to remind yourself that how amazing that is after the 500th time you've done it. And I think that says more about us than it does about this game. I wish I could continue playing with the same wide-eyed wonder that I experienced for the first 10, 15 hours. Where it was just breathtaking. All of it. I have seen things in this game, man. My first planet was an icy planet. And when I finally got into my spaceship and was able to look over the planet as a whole, I realized those weren't mountain ranges. That was the trunk of a giant tree. Giant. Mountainous tree with a cleave right in the middle. So a gap, a passageway through the trunk of this tree. And all of these land shapes covering the rest of the planet were roots. I had landed on basically the world of the world tree, Yggdrasil. Right? I had landed there. One of my first nights on that planet, I was about to die. I was freezing cold. I didn't have any stats, or I didn't have any resources to charge up my shield. I managed to mine a tunnel into a mountain of gold. And in that mountain of gold, I was able to huddle up and warm up and survive. My character almost froze to death, huddled in the middle of a mountain of gold. There are some cool moments to be had in this game. But it lacks a narrative. It lacks impetus. When you're on an actual planet, there's drive, because you've got to stay alive. But the only thing that's going to get you to the next planet, the next solar system, is curiosity. And it turns out that's a finite resource. One of the things I was most looking forward to in this game is I get to name everything. You know, I'm a writer. I've got a whole bunch of half-finished stories and fictional settings and characters and everything up here. And then I've got all my friends. I can name things after people and places and things forever. I can construct fantasy worlds and name every last detail, and it's going to be exciting. I was underestimating the sheer scope of the game. Naming the system you just warped into. Makes sense. Easy enough. Naming the planet you're on. Makes sense. It's easy enough. On that planet, you can name all the various rock formations. All the various plants. All the animals. And tons of animals. And my brain just went, no, I'm fine. I'll just play. Uh, all of those things are pre-named. There's a pre-generated name that you can just accept, or you can change it to something you want. And as the game kept going, I just accepting the generic name became the form. And again, it's because I can't hold on to that sense of wonder. So, what Hello Games has done here is they've created something magnificent. They really have. And it's a sandbox that they can keep adding things to forever. And as they add things, it'll increase the complexity. I want to be more fascinated with this game than I am, and this game deserves to be fascinated with. It does. It's amazing what they've done. And yet, I just don't feel compelled to spend time there. Do a little bit more product placement before I wrap this up here. So in the final analysis, if you like Sandbox, if you like open-ended, non-narrative driven gameplay, if you've ever just wanted to explore, this is your game. No doubt. This is it. For people who don't get such a kick out of sandboxes, this is not going to do anything for you. I'm somewhere in between. I love a good sandbox, provided that the game gives me a reason to explore it beyond just my own wonder. Give me a story that says, hey, you need to go over to that area that you've never been to. And I get over there, and I'm going to look around. I'm the kind of gamer who, when a game says, I need you to walk from A to B, I go through the whole rest of the alphabet before I reluctantly go to B. It's almost comical when a game says, turn left down this hallway and proceed straight to start the game. Immediate right, because I gotta see what else is out there. I love to explore, but part of the joy of that for me is knowing, okay, I've had my fun, now let's do what the game wants me to for a minute. Well, this game doesn't want you to do anything. This game doesn't notice you. You are a single speck in the universe. I get enough of that in my real life. I'll say this last bit. It is... I don't regret getting it. There is some fun to be had with it. It's a fantastic thing to do if you're catching up on podcasts, for example, or books on tape, or whatever. If you've got something like, hey, I want to finish that, No Man's Sky is kind of fantastic to play while doing that. I actually, last Friday, I spent the evening playing No Man's Sky while listening to Doctor Who audio dramas. And it was a pretty enjoyable experience. Like I said, the hours just blinked by. They were just gone. I don't think I've played it since, and it's been almost a week. I'll probably play it again this Friday night. Because it's not... I don't feel like the game failed me. The game is almost exactly what I was expecting. I feel a little bit like I failed the game by not being able to keep up a constant sense of wonder. And I don't know if that's just how we are, or if that's how we've become. Due to, you know, the video games and movies and TV shows that we do now. I'm as bad about anybody as wanting instant gratification. Continual gratification means I don't notice it anymore. So, there it is. My 2 cents about No Man's Sky. I don't know that it's even necessarily a game. It's a universe simulation that you get to walk around in as long as you want to. It's a beautiful thing. You can create your own stories, like me huddling in a mountain of gold. But if you need the game to give you a story, if you need missions and quests and a purpose, this ain't going to help you. This game's not for you. Head to the center of the universe is not as strong a purpose as what most gamers need. So, there you go. No Man's Sky. I'll see you guys around.
Hi, I'm Luke Bryan, 2-time CMA Entertainer of the Year. If I ever learn how to read, I'm going to read The Great Platypus Caper by Jeff Hillary because I believe in supporting fine literature. I'm Luke Bryan. Hi.